Hello everyone. In this video, I would like us to concern ourselves with technological advancements. Although not in an extremely broad sense, I would like to touch on something very particular and specific here in this video, but tie it to a broader issue that honestly needs to be faced, much like many other issues that needs to be faced in this country that aren't currently being dealt with. And what I'm referring to as it pertains to this technological advancement or advancements is the NYPD's introduction of what mainstream media is calling a police dog, but in reality should take on the name of death machine or cop bot or something of the sort. And I say death machine, and you may think, oh, well, Malik, that's somewhat of an exaggeration, isn't it? Well, it kinda, but you can liken it to the death machines, i.e., the drones that the US military uses overseas in places that you'll never go to in your life to decimate, to destroy, to murder on a massive scale innocent civilians and other people that you would have never known existed unless it were for whistleblowers like Julian Assange and people cut from the same cloth as he is. And so what I want to do first is show you this video of this contraption of what I'm referring to, and then we'll kind of get into why this matters.
The robot will be remotely controlled only by trained terror and technical assistance and response unit officers and be deployed to assist ESU or emergency service unit in hostage negotiations, counterterrorism incidents.
Okay, so there you saw hopefully the little dog. I mean, it's disrespectful to call it that. It's a robot. Okay, it's a surveillance machine, as we'll get into here in a second. But before I give you a bit more specifics on that, what I want to say firstly is this is what happens. Okay, this is what happens when we advance as far as technology goes. The people that hold the power and the ability to do what they want with this technology and this new knowledge, they quite literally do what they want with it. And it's a very small collection of people that are allowed to do this. And the mass of people, me, you, and everyone else, we have no say. Needless to say, they are pushing forward to this, much like our leaders and the entities that run this country push forward with pretty much everything else with no public support or hardly any, because this is something that they believe that they should do or they want to do, and they're extremely warped mindsets. So this doesn't have public approval. In fact, it has public disapproval. In what right world or society would the public co-sign something like this? I mean, we've seen the movies, we've seen the TV shows, the iRobots, and etc. of what can happen when technology takes such a place in society. But nevertheless, here we are. And we're heading towards a very dystopian sort of future all around us, but particularly in this video as it pertains to law enforcement and the police. I have news for you. However you may feel about law enforcement and the police or things of that nature, it is never a good thing to continuously expand their powers and their abilities to deal with you in ways that you would not like to be dealt with, because there will come a time where these things, these robots, these weapons, because they're always being more militarized, will be used against you in a way in which you would not prefer it, or against you at all. You know, that is something that you should never desire. But just to give you a bit more on this dog here. So NBC New York reports that the New York Police Department has added a robot dog, in quotations, to its force along with other robots after previously abandoning their use in the face of public outcry, reporting that the robot dog will be used in hostage negotiations, counterterrorism incidents, and other situations as needed. NBC New York notes that the robot's use is being pushed through despite widespread public objections, as I just outlined. Mayor Eric Adams said that although the robotic dog was previously introduced during a previous administration, leaders then took a step back after public outcry. However, he said that his top concern is public safety. So he's disguising this as a public safety measure. This is for the public. This is for me and you. You know, the run of the mill New Yorker. I'm not from New York. I don't live in New York. I've been there, but I'm not a New Yorker. But this is for us. This is for the people. This is for our safety. Keep that in mind here. Another example of the NYPD's violation of basic norms of transparency and accountability by rolling out these technologies without providing the public a meaningful opportunity to raise concerns. The Legal Aid Society is quoted as saying in the objection above. Now get this. Another piece of tech called the K5 autonomous security robot is also being rolled out alongside the quad root pedal robot, which NBC New York reports uses artificial intelligence to provide incident notification in real time to first responders and will be used to conduct automated patrol in confined areas, both indoors and outdoors, such as transit situations. So they're going to be spying. This is surveillance. That's what this is. And so I don't need to spell out for you in black and white, hopefully, why increasing, police militarization or adding these new technologies such as these robotic weapons to the arsenal of police forces around the country is a bad thing. But what I will tell you is, and finish the point that I was making earlier as it pertains to technological advancement and the small amount of people that controls what happens with these things, is the following. Technology, the way that I see it, and any thinking, rational person would see it, should look at it as something that should help humanity, that should help the human race, something that should get people off of their feet, something that should allow people to spend more time with their family, to spend more time with themselves, to better themselves, to have them enjoy life on a scale that they couldn't with technology not being present. Well, is it used in that way? More often than not, the answer to that question is unfortunately no. Let's say we have a factory. This factory contains, 100 workers. And this factory is set up in a way that, factories and businesses are usually set up in our current economic system, namely capitalism, right? And so we have our 100 workers and they all do their job. Well, a new technology was introduced that would allow them to do their job twice as fast. And so a thinking person would go, okay, well, if this technology would allow them to accomplish their work twice as fast, these 100 workers, and so they can get done in a day with this technology in half a day, whereas it would take them an entire day to do it, an entire work day to do it without the technology. Well, let's have them work half a day less with this technology, since it can double the amount of work they can do. That's what a person, a genuine person would believe. Well, the boss of this factory, the person that runs the factory, the CEO, if you will, would go under the incentives of this system. Now, it might not be him personally, or it's a personal fault, or he's greedy. Now, all these things may be true, but under this system that we have that promotes profit making, he would go, well, instead of giving these workers half of a day off, since they can be twice as productive, or finding a way in which it benefits them the most, how about we just sack half of the workforce, since we can bring in this technology that can double their productivity? So we'll get rid of 50 of them out of the 100, and we'll add the technology. We won't lessen the day. We won't do anything that would meaningfully improve their lives, but we will get rid of half of these 100 workers, and we will take the technological advancements and everything it can do for us. Now we don't have to pay all these extra people, and we can make even more money and reap the benefits of these technological advancements. Now, that's how this is usually done under our current system. And it's also done in the way in which you just experienced with me. These robotic dogs, these surveillance machines. This is what technology is used for when it's put into the hands of a very small minority group of people. Why are you doing this instead of trying to do something with the homeless population in NYC? I've been to NYC. I've seen the streets. I've seen many things that can be improved. What about social welfare programs or whatever the hell else that can benefit the people? Surely they can do without these meaningless robotic puppies or whatever it is that mainstream media is calling them nowadays. Needless to say, we are heading in a very, very bad direction.